You ready? Are you ready? My name is Chris and I'm married. And I know what you're thinking. Someone actually married you? I know, right? Do you want to know what it's like to be married? Do you want to know? Here's what it's like to be married. What does it look like to have a real marriage that's working? I've been married to my wife for so long that I can sit in the same room with her and not say a word and still know I've done something wrong. That's marriage. Hi, my name is Chris Padgett, and I want to talk to you about the sacrament of marriage. I actually am a big fan of marriage. I've been married to the same girl for over 20 years. She still likes me, I think. Here's the beauty of marriage. You can't hide, right? You can't hide from the reality of who you are. I mean, maybe in the dating scenario, you can fake it, right? You can put on a good front, a good face. But marriage is really the full disclosure of who one is to the other. Once that honeymoon phase is done and the reality of who you are in the day in and day out dynamic of life becomes present, that's the place where great love can be demonstrated and visible, very tangible. St. John Paul II said in a document for married people and the family called Familiaris Consortio, he said, marriage does three amazing things when it's done right. The first is that it shows God's total love for the world, undying love, complete gift. We see that even in a verse like John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world. There's no qualifications for that. He just loves the world. And in fact, you could say his creation of the world is complete generosity, right? Because he loves. And it's meant to point towards God, towards his love, his life-giving love. And the second thing that St. John Paul II said is that a real holy marriage functioning right, it basically does this. It shows Christ's love for the church. Where is that best demonstrated? At the cross. And there it is, right? Complete gift of self. And from that complete gift of self, that death, new life is formed, right? And that's us, the church, right? His sides pierced and blood and water pour out. And there it is, the birth of the church, new life from death. It's a powerful moment. And the third thing that St. John Paul II said a holy marriage does is it changes society for the positive. I love being married. To be honest, marriage is that vocation that helps me to be the saint that I'm called to be. And when I, in time, love my wife sacrificially, selflessly, then I am being like Christ, loving the church. When I, in time, am willing to lay down my life for my family's benefit, I am being like Christ. And marriage is the great opportunity to be heroic. Marriage is really the great opportunity for you to be the hero, a saint. When you're selfless to your wife, that shows the world my love. When you serve her, that shows the world my love. When you fight for her and for her holiness, that shows the world my love. Think about it this way, so you're in college, and you wake up in the morning, you do what you want. You sleep in as late as you want. You get up, you brush your teeth, you don't clean the bathroom, you do clean the bathroom, whatever, you do what you want to do, right? You go to the movies, you spend your money however you want, you eat out, you don't eat out. In other words, you're free. But the moment you enter marriage, you're not free to do whatever you want, wherever you want. You can't wake up in the morning, sleep in as late as you want, eat whatever you want, only think about yourself. Marriage is the coming together of these two people become one, saying, you know what? It's not just about me anymore. And when you say that, it's not just about me anymore. I'm going to sacrifice for your better. I'm going to serve for your betterment. Then what happens is you demonstrate in time love. The other thing about marriage that's so important is that it's a place of trust. In fact, we can have a bad day and know I'm still committed to you, even though, you're having a bad day. She's still committed to me, even though I'm epically failing and struggling. In other words, that's what marriage does. Marriage looks at one and says, while I could be selfish my whole life, I want to learn what it's like to be like Christ and to be the saint I'm called to be, so I will serve you for the rest of my life. That's why Jesus washed the feet of the disciples, to show us that to be a leader, to be that gift, you have to serve. And for me, I will not have a successful marriage if I'm selfish. But if I am selfless, things happen that are beautiful, that are powerful, that show us what God's love looks like. And I wonder, as you start to discern what your vocation is, ask yourself, where in my life am I selfish, and how can I begin to let that go and be generous to another? As you do that now, As a single person, you will be preparing yourself most excellently for the vocation that God is calling you into. I can't wait for you to continue to say yes to God's love. I can't wait for you to be the saint that you're called to be. The question for you probably now is, what vocation do I need to jump into so I can be that saint? It's cray. It's totally cray-cray.